Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be showing you how to make your Neckerchief slide with your leather that was in your kit. In the bag, you should have had one needle, 2 pieces of leather, and a string. And I've gone ahead and tied a knot at the end of this string here, just a simple knot, not a fancy complicated knot, just a regular knot. And we're going to go ahead and thread the needle with our string. And first thing we have to do is we have to stitch this top piece here to the rectangle. So we're going to line up those dots and we're going to come from the bottom up. And we're just going to stitch this piece onto the front. So let's go up and down just like a regular running stitch, and we're going to come back over that in just a minute. Oops, my string tangled. And then we'll come up the next stitch. And then we'll go down this stitch. And then we'll come out this last stitch. And now we're going to go back. We don't want it to fall off. We want it to be a super strong neckerchief slide. And then we'll go in here. And we'll go in this loop. And now our string is underneath, so we need to go over to this side and do the other X. So let's go this way and down, and then we have to come up in the middle, kind of crowded there. And then down. Load your string, there you go. And then up in this string, and we're going to do just like we did the last time. We're going to go back in the other loops, back up through that middle one that's super crowded. Push it in there, push it in there. Wiggle it through, pull it through. And then we're going to go down. And now we've done step 1. So we've got this all the way on. And what we need to do is in the back, we need to tie this off. So slip your string underneath some of your other stitches. And then you'll have a loop. And just put your needle through. And you're going to do that twice. You're going to put your needle through that same loop 2 times. Oops, I went out the same way. And this leather string is a little tacky, so you might have to ease that down. But you're going to cinch it down so that your string is super tight because you don't want it to fall off. Neckerchief slides fall off of everything. Okay, once you have that super tight, if you want to make another loop through, you can make another loop through. Alright, and now we're just going to cut that piece of string off. I'm not going to take it all the way. I'm going to cut it right about there. Okay, so the next step is to curve it like this. And you can put it side by side and do a cross stitch. And there's your neckerchief. You could also make it even tighter if you wanted to. so that it really doesn't fall off. And you can do that up and down same running stitch that you did the last one. So let's go ahead and take our needle. Put a knot in the end of our thread because we don't want it to come out. And let's put 2 knots just to be careful. Again, not a fancy knot, just a regular knot. And I'm going to make it a little bit tighter because I want to make sure that it doesn't fall off. So I'm not going to cross stitch this. I'm just going to do a running stitch. There's nothing worse than being at a meeting and running around outside and you come back in and you realize that you've lost your neckerchief slide. So we're going to go down, and this is going to get a little harder, so parents, you're probably going to need to help because you've got a tiny area in there. Okay, so you might want to keep your stitches a little loose and not tighten them all the way until you are just about done. But you're going to come out that way. And then you're going to come up on the inside. And you're going to want to do like we did on the front of it. You're going to want to go back the other way so that you have it on there super tight. And that middle stitch is the hardest one because you got to be at the right angle. Okay, so we're going to pull this up. Again, that middle one, parents and scouts, is going to be the hardest one to do. And we're just going to come down. We're going to stick it out this way. And then you're just going to tie it off on the inside of that. Slip it under a stitch, tie it off, and then you're all done and you'll cut it off. And that is your leather neckerchief. You can color it or you can leave it just the way it is. You can write, I would strongly suggest, I recommend that you on the back write your initials or your troop number or den number or pack number just in case it gets lost. But that's it, guys. So happy scouting!